Okay. I left this in the refrigerator after I turned down the temperature, turned it back up, turned the temperature to make it the temperature that it was originally before I turned it to be colder. Okay, this is frozen solid. Yeah, it's frozen solid. And I didn't leave it out. I'll leave it out now so it'll thaw in a few days maybe. Well, I need that with this one, but I'm thirsty now. I can get something else to drink. I'm going to have to pause the camera because I made a small mess here. I just dripped that, so I'll clean it up. I opened this earlier today and did not drink out of it, so I can mix this with some of this, but I have to open this one first. I just broke the seal on this and it's pretty full, close to the top. But I can't use this right now because it's frozen. And this was in the same refrigerator as this one and it's not frozen. I can show you by drinking out of it. I can't drink out of this one. So why did that one freeze and not this freeze? How do you know that I took it out of the same fridge? You know that I took it out of the same fridge. Well, there's a fridge right there. And I don't see another one in here. And there's 2 keys hanging right there at the door. Here. That's one key. And that's the other. Yep. One of them fits a fence door that locks me out. But I don't need it anymore. If you just bring me everything I need. I don't need the fence key anymore. Are you trying to sell me an apartment complex debt that is not my debt? It's not. I've been living here for 13 years as a squatter. I don't owe you any money. I don't pay you any rent. If you extorted money out of Social Security Administration, I'm not going to help you with that. That is my money as well. That means the Social Security Administration won't say that my money is my money, and they are equally guilty as the office of Fremont Gardens Apartments in Las Vegas, Nevada, receiving, rent checks because it's, excuse who? So, who's jealous? There are people, employment that's working at Social Security Administration. You have employment that's working, Ross and Neil discharge plans, and they're social workers for Ross Neal Psychiatric Hospital that consult with Social Security Administration, and I don't do that. And then there are employees, so that's employees for the hospital, social workers, employees for the hospital, and then there's employees for the welfare office. There's employees for Fremont Gardens office, and there's employees at U.S. Bank. And all those employees have been manipulating and distributing money that's appointed to myself. And I was wondering how I got any of the money appointed to myself, because it's not due to have money appointed to myself with that. Yeah, but they did. That means they didn't have deceased in the threatening. Yes, but I'm deceased right here. And I went homeless another way. Well, I went homeless with the money was appointed to a payee. And that was, you were never going to appoint it to me. You were going to put it in my name and give it to somebody else. Well, I need to have you arrested and imprisoned for doing that, but I can't because I'm not going to jail for you either. Wow, are you wasting my time? I would like to tell all the people who challenge me that they're not going to give me what is mine to myself, but I know who they are and I might know where they are. Yeah, I know who you are and where you are, but you gave up your power that you didn't want to give me what was mine to myself, and I went on to lower problems. And the one I just described is so thick and angry and evil. Should I say it again? Because it's so angry. I was wondering if you caught it. It's okay. So I was in Ross and Neal Psychiatric Hospital. I went in there voluntarily because my dreams were describing me as that I couldn't dream on the pillow I was dreaming on in Ogden Pines Apartments number 36. Number what? Because that's you again. Oh, did you burp? What's wrong? I love this black out berry body armor. Well, it's good. Try it. Oh wait, you're not supposed to buy any food, but I have to say it too. That you're really good people. Of course, you're good people if you're watching this and you like me. Well, you can always just make um, a cash payment for myself to Instacart to send me some body armor blackout berry. And if you're not really good, nice people, and all you send me is enormous charges for a few bottles of blackout berry body armor, I will accept something better than nothing. I can use the leverage against you. Thank you. Okay. I like the blackout berry as it is, but I need to move on to. I opened this today in front of the camera when I was making, eating a bowl of potato soup by Bear Creek Country Kitchens. I added it to the bowl right in front of the camera, and I did not drink out of this bottle. So I will continue to use it in front of the camera, even though I did drink out of this bottle in front of you. Right now, I'm going to finish it. But I just want to flavor the water here. So it's interesting to taste the water. If I want just plain cold water, I'll need to open another bottle. Okay. Well, I'm more into the flavor of the body armor by itself right now, but I have to get going on mixing the bottled water with a flavor enhancement because I just did something to make the bottled water taste a little bit um, like it would be better with a flavor enhancement. So I'm doing that now. So you're burping again. Thank you. I am myself. I have threatening on the body that it doesn't look right in God, that I'm not in prison myself because I put you in all the karma you charged yourselves with, and you'll never get out of it because I am malicious. I am putting you out of myself. Could you excuse me? You need it because you don't fit in here. You don't belong here. You don't know me, and you want to put me in prison. Don't you want to put me in prison? I know, but I'm not going to jail for you. How whatever it takes, I'm not going. That means you've been warned. Are you warning me? I'm going to put you out of myself. I have to because I'm not going to prison for you because I create prisons and you want to put me in a prison because you think that that's exception for me at this time, that you're going to decide that I'm going to prison. It's not up to me, and I'm in an exception that I could create prisons, but it doesn't matter to you. You don't like me personally and you want to put me in prison because you don't like me personally. That's not my order, that you put somebody in prison when you don't like them personally. You have to go to jail and prison because God uh, is finished creating you, and the public goes in the prison. You don't know how to do that. I know God is finished creating you. On your first day in alive, you have illegal genitals that go into prison. You can go in there for no reason at all, uh, above or beyond being illegally alive and illegal genitals. It goes right into prison. And you've been in public and alive for 45 years of alive, and I need myself deceased. I've been alive for 45 years in the public, and you want to put me in prison because you don't belong in the public ever. I'm just burping all over the place because this is me eating food in front of you. And I can't stop myself from burping because you're a terrible execution of the threatening that you're not going to jail and prison for me. You must. I create jails and prisons. Is not going to be an inmate with you. You don't know that. You don't know that belongs in prison, or you. I'm going to put you out of myself. You still want to put me in jail and prison because you don't agree with me. I know, but I'm going to put you out of myself. I know who I am. It doesn't change ever. You can't put Father in prison because he's angry. Father makes prisons when he's angry. I am here. I'm not making a prison for your illegal genitals because I'm more angry than to put you in a prison forever. I'm so angry I'm going to put you out of myself, but you should have put yourself in prison so that when I put you out of myself that you were in some presentable condition. But you're not. You're lower than I've ever seen. You're lower than it was for me to alive here myself. And I am going to be deceased out of my genitals, female genitals on the Godhead. Those are deceased out of leverage of Jesus, Michael, Michelson, Chrysler, Jesse, female genitals on Jesus would be Jessie, Jessie, baby in a car seat in the back of a Chrysler SUV with no trunk, but I don't know if there is one on the internet I would refer to. But that's Jesus having a problem, and he formed you. Yes, that's illegal. It's against myself, and it's taken care of now. I'm putting you out of myself. So there's some wall damage to the apartment behind myself. The wall damage is maintenance staffers cut through the wall with some tools. They broke the wall with tools and they inserted a heating and air conditioning unit. And I continue to live here because they wouldn't give me a key to live someplace else if I don't want it and I didn't pay them any money. Sure, rent payments were made, but I'm not making rent payments right now and I'm right here. That means you're doing that because you're mentally unstable, you have mental capacity problems. That's you using that same saw that broke the wall, and you're trying to saw off my arms and legs and my head. And I'm not in a walled-in prison with deceased address where I can fight back with you that I don't want to die that way, and you don't have an argument with myself. You can't do that in public. That's illegal, and I want myself deceased out of female genitals on the Godhead because you broke through a wall that was a solid wall with maintenance, using tools, abusing tools that were dual swears. You don't do that to where somebody else is living, even if you think it's your apartment that way. If you think that's how you have an apartment, you don't belong in myself. No, you don't afford even this apartment. You don't afford to be an American. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I'm not an American, am I? I'm only an American if I am the American and the rest of you are in prisons. Yep. Why do you have public buildings? Why aren't you in a public building and you move the leverage to turn it into a prison like this? It would be a jail in a city, and then you have to transport to a prison upstate out of the city, and the building should die out of the city. It would, like, God would make it disappear. You don't know how to do that. I know you can't be in myself if you don't know how to make a prison with deceased address for yourself, but you know how to terrorize my genitals because you have genitals. You don't have genitals if you have been in America. You're really due in Africa. You really don't have genitals in America and karma. They are due in Africa if you see me. Do you still want to have me arrested by police and you want to continue on in the public because there's nothing wrong with you? You want to go to prison with me and fight with me? I'm not going to jail for you. I'm going to put you out of myself. That's how that's going to happen. And you don't have a choice. I'm going to take you out of my genitals. Is not true. I'm going to take you out of your genitals and put you far out of myself. Call the police. They can't help you. No. Finally, I'm disclosing my leverage. You want to have me arrested and butchered in the prisons so that I don't shout at you anymore, that I'm going to put you out of myself. Well, this is the more solid container. You see how I'm carrying on with food after I'm angry? This because it's my food. I alive the food. I alive the formed world. I alive everything you see here and everything ever. Do you alive of everything ever? In all languages, in all words, ever. In all Godheads ever. You don't. You're not the Godhead here, and that you're not the Godheads of all the creations ever. And you glutton the food and you don't afford it. I am going to take you out of your genitals and put you far out of myself. You are a failure to thrive, trying to put me in prison and stay out in the public with yourselves, which would keep me alive in the prison, wouldn't it? When I don't want to be there because I didn't die out of my genitals yet. But when I do, I will be out of the prison faster than I can get you out of your genitals and put you all the way out of myself. I'm not shouted, am I? I can say that in a calm, even voice. And I still have something to put in my mouth because I'm thirsty. And I am none higher than he, deceased right here. And I have a plan. I'm going to decease myself out of the door locking. I'm going to decease myself into an afterlife prison where I will be deceased out of my genitals and into a Godhead that has, from your point of view, no genitals, or sans genitals that never had genitals, never has genitals. So it will be a Godhead that never has genitals. So it's no longer female that way. And then I will be seeing you about deceasing you out of your genitals to myself, which should be as fast as what it is for me to be deceased out of my genitals, and the threatening of afterlife prison for myself, where I will be deceased out of my genitals, and it goes on time with the prison itself. But that's me having to say that it's because of this hole in the wall. Well, I didn't do it. I didn't see them do it, but I found the equipment in there. I have to say I didn't see them cut through the wall, but there was no hole in the wall. There was no equipment there, and then there was equipment there. They did cut a hole in the wall. I'm going to prison for that, but I didn't do it. But they can. I'm going to prison for that. But once I'm in the prison, I will have my genitals deceased in the prison. So I'm not female. Genitals on the Godhead assigned by Jesus Christ, Michael Michelson, Jesse Dahlmacher, Chrysler SUV with a baby in a car seat in the back seat with no trunk, in traffic, waiting to make a key and go in someplace illegal that you don't alive with your genitals. Your genitals don't alive myself. You don't alive the buildings. I alive the buildings. I just find them illegally alive. So I am going into the afterlife prison for myself, by myself, to decease myself out of the feminine genitals. I'm the Godhead illegal, insane. And then once I have another Godhead, I'm still angry because I'm doing myself. A long time ago, I lived so long. I lived so long just to tell you that I was angry. And the only remedy for my anger is not to put you in jail and prison involuntarily like it's Auschwitz and you don't know how to be yourselves inside of a prison and you're not sorry about your fucking in the prisons. You don't fool me. You want to fuck in the prisons? Yeah, but you hurt me in the genitals. Why would you do that to me? Because my genitals are assigned to me by Jesus and I can't get out of them for that reason. You hurt me in the genitals, but Jesus is not myself. I'm not Jesus, and I don't have leverage to get out of alive because you hurt me in the genitals. You're not due near me. Well, that is my leverage, that you're doing homeless conditions until you're in African blood prison at this point, is what we're saying. But elsewhere, you are just due outside and homeless, like the outside is a prison in all the weather. But you don't have any karma with that anymore because you don't hold yourselves outside in a sorry way. You have illegal genitals and you're maniacal. Jesus can see you, and you're a terrible example for Jesus, that you're illegally alive after himself, and you all know about his crucifixion problem, and you carry on eating and drinking in public, and you're terrorism to Jesus. He can't afford that you eat in front of me, and you fight over my food. You don't really believe in the crucifixion of Jesus, and you don't eat. I eat, but I have leverage on me that's over Jesus. Yeah, I have more leverage on me than it is to be alive just by Jesus. I'm here to put Jesus out of myself permanently. You're here to tell me that I'm a bad example for the children, and you can make it true to yourself, and you can tell everyone, sure, but you're not Jesus, and neither am I. Jesus is not alive that way. He's got a crucifixion of himself for all the threatening. Do you still believe in him as the Son of God? That's not my money. The Son of God is myself, but I'm God with female genitals on the Godhead. I am God deceased right here with feminine genitals on the Godhead. That's how I'm not the Son of God either. But I am. If you want to know who is the Son of God, the essential self, it's myself. But it's not. It's not right now because I have feminine genitals on the Godhead.